there's a couple of different ways that you can take this. It's called an andantino. Andante means at a walking pace, and one of the best things to think about when it comes to this at a walking pace idea is the fact that Mozart said that people play his allegros too quickly, but they play his andantes too slowly. So allegro means merrily or in a lively way. It doesn't necessarily mean fast, so every time you see allegro, don't play it too fast, but I'll do a different lesson on allegros. Andante, this walking pace thing, it's not at this kind of like a march, like a funereal march pace. Although one of the things you can think about with that is that music will work at any speed pretty much. Obviously too slow or too fast is too much, but you know, you can play it slowly and it will still sound okay. But andantes, they should be at like a pleasant stroll. So at kind of an andante pace, you might be thinking, and so on from there. Ino means a little bit, and it's really interesting. So does a little bit mean less than andante? Does it mean at a walking pace but slower than that? Or does it mean faster than a walking pace? So anytime I'm thinking about things like ino and etto as suffixes to Italian words, think of moderato as this kind of middle line. And if you are above that, then obviously less than an ino word, like Andantino's got ino as a suffix, would bring you back to that middle line. But if you're going slower than that, or if you're kind of quieter than that, less than actually brings you back to the middle line again. So actually Andantino is a little faster than andante. Whereas if it was a faster speed marking, presto, prestino, if it exists as a word, which it doesn't, would mean less than fast or back to the middle line. But andante would be this at a walking speed, which would be below the middle line. So andantino brings you closer to the middle line, i.e. a little bit faster than andante. So andante something along those lines. So now I'm doing this video specifically for a particular pupil, but obviously if you find it helpful, then that's good. Share it with, if you don't find it helpful, then share it with somebody else and they might find it helpful. But this tune is written differently in different books. I happen to have it written with 8 quavers per bar. It's in 4/4 time. So we're seeing and kind of so on through there. I have seen it written with only 4 quavers per bar, so it's been written in 2/4 time, which would suggest that the way that's written wants to be played. Which is a bit much. So I'm hamming that up for this video, but I would take it as a longer ranging theme or a longer ranging phrase than 2 beats per bar. I would take it as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I always feel like it needs that. I suppose one thing, just before I close off in the video, so I've got this in 4/4 time. So the question is the andantino for the quavers or is it for the crotchet beats? Is it, or is it? And I just kind of feel like that's just a bit on the fast side, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, Taking it per beat, I think, is a little on the fast side. I'd be thinking about this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. is that classical music is much more interpretive than I've heard it said. I was speaking to somebody in a session recently, and they said, no, I prefer folk music because you're allowed to interpret it and you can play it the way you like. But classical music, there's no interpretation. Well, this piece, Andantino by Carcassi, is an Andantino, so it's a little a little faster than walking pace, and that's up to you to interpret. I also think that the phrasing should be a long-ranging phrasing, but that's my opinion on it. As Marco Pierre White said, cooking is a philosophy, not a recipe, unless it's pastry and then it's chemistry, so don't mess with pastry recipes. But any other recipe, you're allowed to mess with it, and that's one of my favourite things about classical music. I'll do other videos, and you can see over here that I've got myself, a keyboard, an electric guitar, bass guitar, and the one thing you can't see is my drum kit, which is sitting behind me. I'll do a variety of different videos, but this is one of the classical ones that I do. And one of the things I like about classical music is that you are allowed to interpret. So enjoy, have fun.